Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 6:30 half hour of Denver 7's Morning News. We are live outside our studio getting you ready for the first significant snowfall of the season. The timing of it, that's tricky, okay? It's coming down as you're getting out to school, as you're getting your day started, and this has been coming down for some time now.
Some time. I mean, we got into the station around 3 o'clock this morning. Roads were already a bit sketchy then. It is coming down even harder now than when I was out here in our last hour. We have team coverage for you this morning, covering all parts of our metro. We have our Lauren Lennon, who's covering the southern part of town. We also have our Sophia Villalba out to the west part of town. Two parts of the metro that we know typically see some more snowfall when these metro storms come through. All
right, we do want to get started with you, Lisa, though, because the timing of this is what people really need to pay attention to, especially over the next couple of hours.
Yeah, it's going to be the heaviest here within the next couple of hours. I want to show you a few spots where it's coming down a little harder right now. In fact, here across the metro area where you see some of the darker blues. So in fact, just up to the north and east of downtown, that's the airport right now. And you can see where we've got closer to Brighton and up along 76, a little burst of some heavier snow. And then just to the south and west of that, right along I-25, just to the north of the heart of downtown. And then off to the west there, as you get in through portions of Jefferson County, it's really going to be up against the foothills that we see some of our more impressive snowfall totals. In fact, snowfall rates have been upwards of around 2 inches per hour in spots on the west side of town. So right along and west of I-25 where we're seeing some pretty good snowfall. Heaviest near the foothills for the metro area, those totals still likely right around about 3 to 5 inches, it looks like, here by early afternoon. Now, things are going to taper from north to south as the day goes on, and we'll see much lighter snow here in town later on today. So the evening commute may see a few lingering flurries, but really the heaviest snow is going to be between now and about 8 and 9 o'clock. As far as temperatures go, wow, it's not going to warm much. We typically see this, a good 20-30 degree warm up from that morning low to the afternoon high, but we're looking at temperatures hovering right around about 30 degrees here this afternoon. And Jason, in some spots it has been colder, which is where we're seeing more of that snow stick to the ground a little more so, especially on that west side of town.
Yeah, it's one of those iffy right there at the line where if you get it a little bit colder, then you have snow cover everywhere. A little bit warmer, you actually get some slush and slushy areas that you have on the roadways, but we still have some very slick conditions out there, and you can see it depending on where you're going here this morning, where you have some wet and slushy conditions and snowy conditions on parts of Highway 36, and it looks just wet across parts of downtown. So all these cameras are showing different conditions, and you could be changing from mile to mile to mile. Take a look at the overall map, and we did have a brief closure of Kipling over 32nd. It looks like they just left and allowed traffic now to get up and down the hill, but some of those hills out there on the west side of town are quite tricky, so just be careful out there on some of those elevations. You can see the drive that we have up here on Highway 36, a little bit more than a half an hour there, about a half an hour getting into downtown with speeds now averaging in the 20s, and we see those speeds coming down as we see more congestion on the roadways as folks are making their way out and about. So they're trying to get out right now, and you can see some of the slower traffic through the Denver Tech Center, 225, and down to the south side of town. Lauren Len has been driving down here on the south side of town through Lone Tree and Highlands Ranch and down in parts of Castle Pines. Right now in Lone Tree again, Lauren. So what are the conditions like where you're driving around right now?
Yeah, Jason, we just got into Parker actually, and again, the roads from my perspective, not too bad. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I'll show you right now. Like I said, we just got into Parker, but earlier you mentioned we were driving around Castle Pines, in Castle Rock. I will say the worst conditions we saw were in Castle Pines. Slipping and sliding. We actually were at one intersection where our news car itself was slipping and sliding. We were probably not even going over 20 miles per hour. But again, right now, road conditions not looking too bad. But again, I'm not the one driving. Our photojournalist Jamie is. But still going pretty, not over 30 miles per hour, but not seeing too much out here. Traffic has picked up a little bit. These roads don't seem to have been plowed just yet in Parker here, but not seeing too many issues from drivers this morning as they are on these roads. Now, it is important to note, we know this morning that Douglas County, they are on accident alert. So basically that just means that they are only responding to accidents that have fatal injuries, hit and runs, or vehicles stuck on the roadway. Any other accidents or non-life-threatening or non-emergency accidents, they're asking people to report that to their local police stations. But again, we'll be tracking your morning commute for the rest of this morning. But right now, road conditions not looking too bad, Jason.
Sounds good, Lauren. Thank you so much for your reporting. Now I want to get out to Sophia Villalba, who is in unincorporated Jefferson County this morning. Sophia, how are things looking out where you are?
Yeah, pretty snow-packed. We're on one of the residential streets, and I actually do want to show you right now as we head a little bit more towards this street. There is a little bit of a slightly overturned car into this ditch here. It looks like the driver did not see the ditch because of the amount of snow the ditch has collected overnight. Now, the residential streets, as you can see, are pretty packed with snow. I haven't obviously seen any snow plows recently. And before coming to residential streets, we were on one of the main city streets here in West Pleasant View, and it was a bit of a bumpy ride from all the snow packing together. Now, we'll be heading to Wheat Ridge right now, but for right now, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
So much, Sophia.
Now, if you are catching a flight today, the FAA is showing that a ground delay will start at 8 o'clock this morning for snow removal and runway treatment. It is showing that the average delay time will be around 30 minutes. We are also tracking more delays that are constantly coming in this morning. FlightAware is currently reporting 217 delays at DIA and currently 1 cancellation.
Denver cold weather shelters are open today. You can see the list on your screen with locations for men, women, young people, families as well. The city is also opening libraries and rec centers as warming stations.
More school delays are also coming in this morning. We know Lotus School in Aurora, Gilpin County Schools, and the Elbert School District and Park Schools R3 are delayed 2 hours this morning. The Platte Canyon School District and Mullen High School are also delayed by 90 minutes. As always, we will have closings and delays rolling for you at the bottom of your screen so you know when to get your kids out the door throughout the show.